So hi, welcome to End Credit Reviews. On an episode of After the Credits on End Credit Reviews. It's just me this time, Tyler from End Credit Reviews. And this is my review on the Godzilla movies that I have not reviewed yet on my channel. About 5 years ago, I reviewed the Godzilla movies, every single Godzilla movie at that point in time. And if you want to watch those, I highly recommend watching those ones. Even though the audio quality isn't necessarily the best on mine, I was kind of quiet back then. Just, heads up on that one. But anyway, since there is a new Godzilla movie coming out very soon, I felt like this was the perfect opportunity to talk about the Godzilla movies that I have not reviewed yet. So this is my review on Shin Godzilla and the Godzilla Earth Trilogy. Shin Godzilla is the first Godzilla movie by Japan in over a decade that was made in 2016. It is a reboot where a giant monster attacks Japan and evolves into Godzilla. Now, Shin Godzilla is an interesting reboot where Godzilla is clearly a presence, and it's nice to see another Godzilla movie by Japan, but it definitely does have its problems. When Godzilla is evolving and he's going around the city and people are fleeing from him, he kinda looks silly looking, and he looks like he belongs in the Muppets, just in my opinion. He just looks a little silly. I think it's just those eyes. The other is that I think it's because of the cameras that were used, but it sort of looks like a high-budget YouTube fan film. It's a decent Godzilla flick, but I would only recommend it to the fans. So as for Shin Godzilla, I would give it about 2.5 stars out of 4. Then of course we have the Godzilla Earth Trilogy. Alright, so in the first two, Godzilla Planet of the Monsters is about a group of people who flee Earth in a spaceship and return to Earth generations later. Godzilla is still alive and around, and they try to kill Godzilla. In the other one, called Godzilla City on the Edge of Battle, they discover basically a city that was created by the former Mechagodzilla and some kind of nanotechnology or something like that, and they try to use that technology to try to destroy Godzilla. Both of these movies have the same problems where it's interesting in the beginning, it really does drag a lot in the middle, however it does pick up a little bit towards the end. So I would say these movies are kind of boring and average and pretty forgettable, I would say. Nothing that made me mad, but I would say this one was just eh. So as for Godzilla, Planet of the Monsters, and Godzilla City on the Edge of Battle, I would give both of them 2 stars out of 4. But then of course we get to the third and final one, which is Godzilla the Planet Eater. And this one's about a new giant monster named King Ghidorah, which, of course, I got a lot of flack for in one of my Godzilla videos. People were trying to say, oh, you're saying it wrong and that. And I think hopefully I said it right so you can get off my back about that. And of course, there's this whole subplot with this one priest alien of the giant monster that is trying to destroy Godzilla with the main character. And this was just bad. And I'm definitely not the first person to say that, because if you go on IMDb right now, this is probably easily the second lowest rated Godzilla movie ever made in that, okay? It's actually pretty lower than the 1998 Godzilla remake. And the reason why is that this movie is not only just boring for a movie where it's a big third movie, where usually in a trilogy of movies, the third one has the most action. It's all the build-up it's leading to, and all it is kinda just a nothing burger. The monsters in this one barely move, and a lot of the movie is taken up by this alien priest just rambling on about, philosophical stuff, and the nuclear bomb, and humans for free will, and other stuff like that. I mean, I'm perfectly fine with not just some Godzilla movies, but movies in general having some kind of message, but as long as it's cleverly written and it's more beneath the surface, that's fine. But the thing is that this one is just way too on the nose, and it just really comes off as just being so dry and pretentious that it can easily rival the recent season of The Simpsons, which has really turned into a dumpster fire. But anyway, this movie's ending, I'm just gonna spoil it because it's bad, so don't waste your time with it. But the thing was that in the final part of the movie, everything seems hunky-dory in that, and then for some reason, our main protagonist decides to go into a spaceship and crashes and dies. It is just stupid. I think it's easily one of the worst Godzilla movies ever made. It makes the 1998 Godzilla remake look like the original Gojira from 1954. So as for Godzilla the Planet Eater, I would give it 1.5 stars out of 4. So anyway, thanks for watching this episode of After the Credits on Encoder Reviews, and I hope to make a lot more in the future. Please like and subscribe.